As we know, negotiations are an essential part of business. With them, we can reach points of common interest with other parties and thus obtain a common agreement that should be beneficial or at least acceptable for the parties involved. As international businessmen, it is very possible that in the future we will be immersed in, for example, buying and selling negotiations. And these negotiations may be with international or different cultural counterparts who have a different culture and vision about business and life in general. In cultures different from ours, we can find different ways of communicating, different business protocols, other values and beliefs, and therefore other styles to negotiate. My name is Miguel Rodríguez, and I'm going to talk to you about the differences and cultural difficulty in negotiations. Here are some of the difficulties that we may encounter when negotiating with cultures different from our own. The first, and I believe that is one of the most important difficulties when negotiating with a different culture, is the communication style. Of course, if we don't speak the same language that our counterpart or counterparts, there will be a communication barrier. This may lead to difficulties when understanding each other, possibly causing several misunderstandings and misinterpretations. As we're talking specifically about culture and not about countries or internationality, we may find ourselves in a situation where we speak the same language as our counterpart. However, the counterpart may have a different cultural background than ours, having different pronunciation and vocabulary, and therefore, this may affect the way in which the negotiation is conducted. In the same way, different cultures have different ways of expressing their ideas and beliefs, what they do like or what they do not like. For example, a culture like the Mexican one tends to place more emphasis on indirect communication, and in the other hand, we have the Chinese culture that tends to focus on direct communication. Basically, they go to the point. The nonverbal communication, as such as body language, gestures, and facial expressions, can also vary widely between cultures. Misinterpretation again of nonverbal cues can lead to misunderstandings and breakdowns in communication. Also, another significant difficulty when negotiating with a different culture are the values and beliefs. These values can influence how negotiators approach a negotiation, what they consider to be important, and how they make decisions. They can have different priorities. The people from different cultures may prioritize different things when negotiating. For example, some cultures, as the Chinese, may place more emphasis on building a long term relationship, while others may focus on achieving just immediate results, as the American culture. They may also have different expectations of the negotiation. Different cultures may have different expectations for how a negotiation should be conducted, such as the level of formality or degree of the flexibility in the negotiation process. Also, a thing to have into account with the expectations is that the counterpart in in common with interest they have that they need to do the negotiation with a high hierarchy level manager in order for them to feel respected. They could also have different attitudes toward risk. These cultures may have different attitudes towards uncertainty, which can influence how negotiators approach issues such as concessions, deadlines, and contingency plans. In order to overcome these difficulties, it is essential to conduct research on the cultural norms and practices of the country or region in which negotiations will take place. Also, negotiators should be open-minded and willing to adapt their negotiation strategies to accommodate different cultural expectations. In conclusion, cultural differences can pose significant challenges when negotiating across cultures. However, I believe that with preparation and nice willingness to uh, the negotiators can effectively prevail over these difficulties and achieve successful outcomes.